Hi, my name is Mark Howell. I'll be your instructor this semester. Hopefully this is WEB182-620. If it's not, you're on the wrong bus and we're going to a different place. So double check your course roster and make sure you're in the right place. This video is to do a couple of things. One is to kind of give you a rough idea. I'm going to go through the syllabus. I'm going to talk about what the expectations are of the class and a way that we can communicate. Being an online class, I know that feeling isolated is part of the problems with online classes, where I like to set up a little bit of communication between us, one with these videos so you can at least see my face, connect visually to me, and then second is sending emails or waiting for office hours may not be timely when you have a question. So I've set up a communication link using a tool called Remind to allow us to text back and forth, and Remind isolates so we don't have to know each other's personal phone numbers, but still allow us to text back and forth so that you can get response, a little bit more responsive, quicker response to any questions you may have. So let's take a look at the syllabus for this Web 182 class. Now, going through the syllabus, you also still have to take the syllabus quiz. So otherwise, you won't get any information on any of the material. So you want to make sure that you take that syllabus quiz so that you can actually turn in homework assignments. So up front, if you download the log online, you want to get an index into the different topics. You can get there from the top of the page. My office is in building E339. If you go in the E building, pretty much right across from F, don't go by the library entrance up the ramp, but go up the stairs, across from F building, go to the third floor, go through the door. The first hallway on your left, second office on the right is mine. Email address is mhowell, Howell, at CCC&TI.edu. Phone number is 726-2339. Now, sending email, leaving me a voicemail on my office numbers may not be the quickest response. So I highly recommend you register for Remind, and we'll get into a little bit of that a little bit later. Now, the question is, what is this class all about? Actually, this course introduces you to the server side, the HTML embedded scripting language called PHP. So we'll talk about, hopefully most of you have gone through the HTML class last fall, so we shouldn't have to redo some of that. But if your feedback to me is that we need some refresher, we can do that. The textbook I've chosen, hopefully the first 5 or 6 chapters gets us up, covers enough of the core foundation of PHP and writing web pages that then we'll go into more detail the rest of the semester. But the information is on programming techniques and how to do that using PHP scripting languages. So we should be able to, hopefully by the time you're done, know how to design and code, test and debug dynamic web pages. The textbook is PHP MySQL. There's a third. Yep, still the third edition. I had to double check for a second. By Joel Murek and Ray Harris. Written end of last year, so it's fairly new and updated. Hopefully when you're done, you'll understand a little bit about developing PHP, a little bit about interfacing to MySQL database. In this case, we're using MariaDB. But talk about web development techniques, basic PHP, working with data types, arrays, file structures, databases. So hopefully this will give you, after the semester's over, you should be able to have a strong foundation into building a web page for yourself or for someone else. We're only going to cover probably half the book, so there's a whole lot more to it than what we're going to cover. This is an introductory course, but it gives you it'll give you a strong foundation and hopefully get you off and running on the right foot. Attendance, being an online class, we need weekly participation. I'm going to use what I call a reflection journal to take attendance. That reflection journal is 100 words, free format. You can tell me anything you want. Tell me good, bad, and different about the class. I've had students give me song lyrics, poems, movie script, whatever strikes your fancy. I've had recipes, but I've also had valid comments on the course material. I like the video, don't like the video, I don't understand the textbook, it's hard, it's confusing, program assignments are too hard. But that's what this reflection journal is a way for you to communicate with me. If it's like raising your hand and complaining, most of us won't do it, but giving you a free form and isolated from the rest of your classmates should help you give me all the feedback I need. Now, so this attendance is you're allowed up to 12 absences. Actually seems a little bit, since we only meet, online class, it's tough to say, but my guess is we're going to probably be, after about 6 attempts, 6 failures, 6 not turning in your reflection journals or showing me any activity, I may drop you from the class. If you want to withdraw from the class yourself, the final drop date is March 19th. Now, as far as what you're going to be graded on, 30% of grades are going to be completed by the chapter exams. 25 are going to be on your assignments, 20 on your midterm, 20% on your final, and then 3% on your reflection journal and 2% on that tool I talk about, Remind. All you gotta do is register. I don't care if you send me a text or not. Just registering so that I can text you information is worth 2% to the grade. So hopefully that helps. Of course, we're still on the 10-point grading system, so that way you can tell. If you're at 89.95, I may or may not give you an A. So I try to adhere to this standard. So if you want an A, make sure you're above 90. I don't care if it's 90.002, it's still an A. Now, as far as sequence of the material, probably cover 8 chapters, hold a midterm, cover the remaining, 7 chapters, and then a final. The midterm will be on the first 8 chapters. The final will be on the last 7. So the final, not a cumulative final. And those exams are made up of all the questions that are in each of the chapter exams. So if you want to know a good study technique is pay attention to your chapter exams. Disability services, if you need them, on Caldwell campus it's called Tuesday Stigman, and on Watauga you can call Nancy Leonard, and they can help you with doing that declaration. There's other services as far as financial links, and there's other links there on the syllabus. So now the question becomes, what are we going to do? So now I've covered the syllabus. Now remember, you still have to take the syllabus quiz. Let me get out of here so you can see me. Take the syllabus quiz. All you got to do is get 1 point on it. And I think the lowest you can get is a 25. So just get 1 question right and you'll be fine. Now, to register for Remind, you can do it one of 2 ways. If you click this link here, the Remind setup, all it does is open up a page which gives you the link here to join. You click the Join Remind link, and it hopefully, if I've done it right, it should say you're joining the Web Spring 19 WEB182-620. Give me your first and last name, and then a phone number if you want text. It does say or email, but if you're giving an email, I can't send you a text. I can still, whatever I text will get emailed to you, but then all you're doing is if you email back to me, then it's no different than you just join my mhull@cccti.edu email address from your student email. So I'd put in your phone number. So that's all you got to do to set up for Remind. And I think for this part, that's about all I want to cover. So hopefully you watch this video, take the syllabus quiz, set up for Remind, get yourself your 2%, and watch the next video on what to expect in a glance and the lecture. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.